They got that guy over there. He was giving them a problem. They finally got him cuffed. Watch all these people right here.
That's why I'm good. That's why my son good. Y'all don't know who I know, bitches. Get fucked with me. You too. You too. Come over here with that motherfucking vest on. Y'all can't come over here with that motherfucking vest on, bitch. You ain't gonna do shit. Shut the fuck up. You gonna be okay.
78, can I get an update on speed?
I need a sergeant to come around top because the police just put their hands on him.
Don't beat him up.
Don't beat him up. I don't know what the fuck.
Don't beat him up.
They beat him up. They beat him up because he's fucking his face.
Fuck y'all. Y'all did that on purpose. Fuck y'all, bitch. They ain't gonna all y'all. I'm with the motherfucking vest on. They ain't gonna come over here like that. They know they get their ass whooped. What's up?
The Detroit area, but across this great nation. So why do I think it's important to bring that up? Over the last several weeks, several news stations have been running stories about our contact with the community. And when you look at the videos that have been taken by members from our community, it's been very caustic, insightful, and then when it's all said and done, a determination is made that we didn't do anything wrong. One of our officers got tased in this most recent video that I think Channel 7 initially put up, and then Channel 4. And my question is, for what reason? When we get it wrong, please, in the interest of transparency, air that story. But when you talk about pulling up video, whether it's what happened in Greektown, we did it right there too. Whether it's what happened in the 2nd precinct, we did it right there. In fact, one of our officers got taken. And you put a video on that creates excitement and insights, and we're talking about 50 years later, we look at you, the media, as our partners.
So your problem was that we used the video, period.
Well, it's not so much as you use the video, period. When it was initially posted, you took one side. And I'm just saying what I know.
I did the story. I stand by my story 100%, Chief. I never said the police did anything wrong. I never said the video proved you
But I
did
will
anything.
tell you that it's those images, when people don't understand what took place, we have an angry number of people in the neighborhood at the police for doing their job. They may not always know the reason for the detention or the stop. But yet, we put it up, we don't balance it, and people are left with the impression, here we go again. I'm saying to you, as colleagues, as professionals, give us an opportunity, a fair opportunity to address issues. We're going to make mistakes. And when we do, we don't run away from the camera. We want to tell the story because we know that trust is built on our ability to communicate in a very timely way. But when you unilaterally put up images, a 3-day reporter, I'm telling you, a 3-day reporter who puts it up on your website that I had a chance to review, that's a problem. And I'm asking you, be considerate, not just of the police department, but be considerate of this community, that frankly, we are the model to follow. We're not going to always get it right, but this must end.
Well, I know our story when the video aired was complete with Commander Walton's response and explaining, how this went down.
I
and it
understand
certainly didn't place blame either way. I think Jen Sutton who put it up on the website first.
Right, but I think it's a sensationalized approach to something that's not really there. Anytime we come into a neighborhood, people are angry, maybe they're consumed intoxicants, and maybe we might have to use a certain amount of force. And whenever we use force, I don't care what police agency, it never looks good, particularly if you don't know the circumstances surrounding it. Let's not forget one important factor. As I've said, overreaction, underreaction of the police department is equally bad. We shouldn't forget and lose sight that I have an officer right now fighting for his life after being shot, still fighting for his life. Over the last 10 months, 7 months actually, we've had 10 Detroit police officers, including one Wayne State police officer, either killed or shot. Let's not lose sight of the efforts that these men and women make every single day, chasing armed suspects. Every single day that never gets reported. But yet, we put up what I call sensationalized video. So it needs to end, and it needs to be a fair balance.
Do you feel the people in that neighborhood say they feel like they get harassed from time to time by police? You disagree with that?
I don't know. I have not had a conversation with them, and certainly if there's an allegation of harassment, we want to investigate it. But that doesn't mean that someone leaves your house and then to put out on the news, this is from the people in the neighborhood, the police were beating us, that's why we tased the police officer. I'm telling you, we have the video. In fact, we should put that video up. It shows that the officer is doing nothing but standing there, trying to maintain peace. Someone leaves their private residence and begins to tase the officer. That's what happened. That's factual, and we have a video to support that.
When will that video be released?
You know what? We're going to release it right now. Let's release that video right now.
And just express again, what will that video show? What will we see?
The video will show certainly a person being placed in the police car. There was a lawful detention. There was consumption of an intoxicant, smoking of marijuana. They investigated, and then that's when people came out of their homes. Certainly, everyone has a video camera now. Fortunately, our officers were wearing body-worn cameras. So the image you will see is from a body-worn camera. And so we just want equity. But more important, we want to make sure that we're being fair to this community, to this city, to tell the truth. And not that it be one-sided. That's all I'm asking. Nothing more.
Chief, when you look at all the videos, do you feel the situation could have been handled differently?
We can always sit back, and I get the Monday morning quarterback incidents. Certainly when I saw the incident, there was one point in the video where a woman is coming in very close to the officers holding a camera, and she was forced back. Now, there's two ways to look at it. One, she was interfering with a lawful police investigation, so her presence could have escalated. Our officers know, and I've said it, and I've continued to say it, I don't care about people wanting to videotape us. If we are a professional police agency, we got cameras, the community has cameras, we're good with that. I am not good that if you're shouting profanities, you're inciting a crowd, what we saw out of Greektown, you're inciting people in the area, and then you're trying to interfere with the lawful detention, that's when it becomes problematic. And when that happens, it puts us in a position to make a decision. Do we detain that person as well, or do we let that person go so as to not escalate an already bad situation? Now, I will tell you, the officers made a conscious decision going back to the Greektown incident, that two women who were very aggressive, trying to incite the situation, the officers made a conscious decision not to arrest her. On the video that was showing the tasing, of course, that person was arrested. So all we're asking for is let us do our job. If there's a question of concern as it relates to our presence, whether it's harassment, excessive force, give it to us. trust that we will have a complete and thorough investigation.
Chief, you touched on one incident where the lady got very close to the officer, and the officer responded, or one of them responded by saying, "Get that camera the F out of his face." Talk about that.
I didn't hear that part, but if the officer said that he shouldn't, what should have happened, when I looked at the video, I did see where she was very close, and that's a problem because it borders on and does complete the act of interfering with a police officer doing their duty. We can't have it because many times when that happens, it puts the officers at risk, it puts additional community members at risk, and all we're saying, we want people to be safe. If you have a complaint or concern, there's a way to address it. Not running up in the middle of a melee with cameras and using profanity. All that does is one thing, it escalates the situation.
And just briefly talk about officer going into the mind of an officer. He doesn't know that's a camera, and after what happened in New York and what's happened to your officers, an officer doesn't know you're just trying to videotape it if you're running up on it.
Exactly. I mean, if someone's running up on an officer, they don't know. And that's why I say it's as important not to underreact. But look at the officer in New York, sitting in a mobile mini station, doing paperwork, and she's assassinated. That's the world that our officers live in. But our officers also know this is not reflective of an entire community. There's just that few. But we want the officers to go home at night. We want our community to be safe. It's about balance. But when you inject yourself in a problem in a very aggressive way, you open yourself to a response. And a response could be spending the night in jail. And for what? It needs to end. Just like a couple of weeks ago, we did, the complaints of drag racing overnight. And so a couple of vehicles got towed, some detentions were made. And so in response, an individual calls and threatens to blow up police headquarters, threatens to kill police officers. We're going to find you. We've demonstrated time and again, we are going to find you. And when we do, we're going to arrest you. You may not like the contact, you may not even understand the contact, but there's a place for that. There's a police commission. Certainly there's Deputy Chief Todd Bettison office, which is in my office. They can garner assistance. We have a professional standards section that will take any investigation from any source, whether it's something posted on Facebook. Many times we initiate investigations based on what we see on Facebook.
Let me ask you one more thing about where the officer was tased, Chief, and I don't know if you can comment on this, but yesterday Commander Walt talked about there's a history there. Officers have been to that house before. And when we were out there, they talked about, it goes back and it goes both ways, and they say officers used to flip them off sometimes. And I've got a video today showing that.
That's wrong. I'm telling you, if you have a video showing that, we will investigate. That's wrong. And one thing I'm going to direct Commander Walton and Deputy Chief Bettison to do, they're going to need to go and meet with their family and find out what we can do to mend this broken relationship. I'm going to make that happen as soon as we're done with this interview. I'm going to let the Deputy Chief Bettison. Oh, right here we got. So you heard my interview. But you need to get the commander and to go into that and just find out what's going on because we certainly don't need that. But we can't have people coming up and assaulting officers either. Like I said, it is a balance.
Hey,
right?
can I add something quick? So in support of